Hello everyone, welcome to StraightA. Dawson here, back with another video here today. And today we are talking about the Las Vegas Raiders and my predictions upon looking at the stats and all that analysis for the Las Vegas Raiders team for this upcoming season. I'm really excited about it. They're a division rival to my Denver Broncos, so I'm going to be fair and unbiased for sure. But before we get started, I have not been feeling too well. I've been working, feel like I've been busy, feel like I've not been home a whole lot, so I haven't really had time to record too many videos. But again, we are going to keep up with 5 videos a week on average, and that means I'm going to do a ton of videos this week. That means I'm going to do like 6 videos from Thursday to Sunday. Hopefully, cross our fingers on that one. But either way, before we get started, please leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and comment any suggestions for future videos below. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Holy crap, cannot speak. As you can probably hear, I got a little bit of phlegm in my throat, so that's going to probably affect the commentary, but oh well. Alright, so today, we're going to look at the depth chart of the Las Vegas Raiders. Aiden O'Connell is their current projected starter, but Gardner Minshew is just as likely, if not more likely, to start over him. So I will be projecting Aiden O'Connell, but I think Gardner Minshew and him will have very similar stat lines. I don't know, I'm not too sure. Maybe half and half, I'm not too sure. Zamir White is the main running back with Alexander Madison, Amir Abdullah, and Dylan Lobb. Yeah, that's going to be a fucking horrendous running threat, so we'll see how well they do. Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker make up the 3. Michael Gallup also there too. He's pretty notable. And then Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer is a dual threat tight end duo. I'm curious to see how that duo actually work together. Michael Mayer did not receive much love last year, but Brock Bowers is also really good, so will they also not utilize him? I'm not too sure. Will they utilize him half and half? Will one be more blocking? I don't know. I'm not too sure. So I'm very curious to see how that goes. My prediction is Brock Bowers will get more into the receiving game, but who really knows? Devontae Adams is their main star guy. He's probably the best player on the team by far. You got Jacoby Myers, very reliable. Been a very reliable wide receiver number 2. Has been getting hundreds of yards, 800 I believe last year. So he's going to be very reliable in that secondary position for this team. So I'm going to be curious to see how he stacks up to Devontae Adams. They tied in touchdowns last year. Jacoby Myers is actually pretty much of a beast. So very curious to see how that goes. Then you got their O-line, Colton Miller, Andre James. Pretty much the 2 notable guys I know. From everything I've seen, they're okay O-line. There's nothing too notable, nothing too bad, nothing too good. That type of deal. Then looking at this team, this defensive line actually is kind of scary. It's weird. Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins are like the 2 powerhouses. Everybody else, I'm like, Jack Jones, like for example, I'm like kind of, scared of him in the corner position. Or, you're following me, whatever. I don't even know what to say anymore. But I'm kind of scared of some of these players here. But like, Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins are the 2 guys on this team that are going to put a lot of pressure. Max Crosby's going to be a beast this season. I think he's going to carry this defensive line. But I'm not too sure how I feel about the rest of it. I think they're just going to do fine. I don't think they're going to be anywhere near the top. I don't think they're going to be anywhere near the bottom. They've, in the past, been 30s to 40s for the sacks. Not anything too special. Max Crosby has had really respectable numbers, mostly because everybody double teams him and tries to, even despite them looking out for Max Crosby, they still somehow let him through. So it helps the rest of the team kind of get some numbers in. But otherwise, I'm not too sure how they'll actually hold up to a lot of the O-line, especially in the division. Then looking at the corners, and the secondary, Nate Hobbs, is kind of a notable guy here, and Jack Jones, that's what I meant to say. Will also be interesting to watch in this secondary. I'm not too sure if I really like them, to be honest with you. I predict that they will not be a very good secondary, but they also could very much surprise me. This is a secondary I'm very willing to concede ground on that I'm not too familiar. In general, this whole team I'm not too sure a whole lot about. Aiden O'Connell was kind of looking into this last year. Does he start the whole season? Probably not. Does even Gardner Minshew start the whole season? Or would either one of them be good enough to start the whole season? I don't know. I'm not too sure. Even with Josh Jacobs, the running committee was just nothing because they were playing from behind all the time. Devontae Adams is still Devontae Adams. He's still going to get 1,000 yards. But to what extent will he get that? Will he get more touchdowns than 8? Will Jacoby Myers be even more utilized with maybe a more consistent quarterback? Will the O-line hold up to a lot of these other defensive lines? I think yes. Defensive line, will they break through a lot of the O-lines? Outside of Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins is the only other guy I have a lot of confidence in consistently doing that. Even then, Christian Wilkins probably losing a step a little bit. And then you got the secondary, which I just have no clue on idea of. So, I just don't care. I think. I just wish I knew more about this team or knew more about how they will play. Because the Raiders are one of these teams that feels like they always suck in some way. They feel like they haven't been good in forever. Even a couple seasons ago when they made it to the playoffs, they were easily the first round out. It's just, this team baffles me. So we're just going to run right into the predictions, and I'll give you more of my thoughts there. So yeah, like the Las Vegas Raiders. When it comes to analyzing this team has been so mediocre in almost every regard. Their secondary just has not gotten any interceptions, about 11 or 12 in the last few years, just the most they've gotten. Their defensive line, despite having a star, rusher like Max Crosby, still only gets the 30 to 40 sacks. Their O-line's okay. They usually let up a middle range number. Wide receiver numbers could be anywhere from really good to really shit, depending on the quarterback play. And the quarterback, who knows? Because it really comes down to the quality of the quarterback at the end of the day. And the running threat, outside of Josh Jacobs, non-existent for the last few years because Josh Jacobs has been the guy. And now they have a committee of people. How well will this really work out? I'm not too sure, but this is my predictions. Aiden O'Connell, I'm going to assume he plays the whole season in this case, but I think I see like less than 3,000 yards for both Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. 16 passing touchdowns seems about on par with what I think he could do in a full season, maybe like a 3/4 of a season type deal. Less than 50 rushing yards, he's not a rusher. And I see Gardner Minshew in these areas as well. If Gardner Minshew plays alongside in O'Connell, these numbers go up a little bit, probably up to 20, 22 maybe passing touchdowns, but I don't see much more. Rushing yards don't go up. Rushing touchdowns don't go up. Interceptions will go up very marginally, but 10 interceptions at 16 passing touchdowns. That's the kind of quarterback I think Aiden O'Connell is. He's good enough to get you about 4 wins a season. That's about all the confidence I have for him. Gardner Minshew would probably give me, if he played a full season, I probably would give him slightly above 3,000 yards. 21 touchdowns, something like that. But I just see Aiden O'Connell playing, then being subbed out for Gardner Minshew. So that's my thoughts right now. Zamir White, if anybody thinks he's going to rush for 1,000 yards, then they're crazy. If anybody thinks that he's the clear by running back one, they're crazy. Less than 799 rushing yards this whole season. He's going to be splitting with so many other people. 3 rushing touchdowns, why I give him, because I think Madison will at least probably try to steal a little bit of the end zone. Then again, he's not very good at that stuff either. So I don't think either one of them excel at it. So I don't know. Maybe Madison has a slightly comeback here, but I couldn't tell you. Then we had the receiving predictions for this team. I went boring with this. I'll be honest with you. Devontae Adams, 1,100 yards. That's what he's got last year. What he got again this year. I gave him one more touchdown, though, because why not? Jacoby Myers, I gave him a step back just because I think Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers are going to get more involved, or at least Brock Bowers will get more involved stealing that away from him. So I'll go less than 800 yards, but he'll still do pretty well. 6 receiving touchdowns because he's really good in the end zone. Brock Bowers, less than 700, but I think he gets really close, like 600 receiving yards, and then he probably gets a lot of end zone plays there. So probably 3-4 receiving touchdowns are very, very possible for Brock Bowers. But it's hard to predict these guys. You could tell me if you go in the comments and say I'm fucking dead wrong on receiving, I'll give you that because this is just so fucking crazy. This team has no analytical type of projection for this next season because I have no fucking clue how good these players are going to be. I have no clue Aiden O'Connell is going to be, or Gardner Minshew, or whoever the fuck. What's his nuts, as my boss would say. O-line, I'll give him 30 to 40 sacks allowed. They hover around the high 40s, but I'll give them a little bit better this season. I feel like the range is probably better for them there. 35 to 39 sacks, again, usually around the same range. I think this is the mean between their last 3 seasons or something like that. It's within this range, and that's how I kind of decided it because I didn't know how to factor in Max Crosby along with unknown names to me. So 30 to 39 sacks seem very fair for this team, who, again, this is around the mean of their last 3 years. Interceptions, less than 10. I mean, they last 3 seasons, I think 2 out of 3, they've gotten less than 10. And I think that other season was like 11. 10 is like about where I think they're going to be. So I'll give them 9, but I just don't see them doing very, very well. Now, looking at their opponents, they go 2-4 in division, split with the Broncos, split with the Chargers, lose to the Chiefs all out. Then they have a fucking tough schedule. Browns, Steelers, Falcons, Jags, and Panthers. They can win 2 of these games, I guess, of the 5. But man, is it going to be fucking tough. So I'll give them 2 of the 5. But I mean, that doesn't take them very far. It goes 4-7 at that point. So 4-7. Bengals, Ravens, they definitely lose. And I'll give them a split here, being generous. This is being generous, though, so I think they could easily lose one of these. That means the total is 6 wins. I'm putting them right at 4 to 6 wins. Right where the Broncos, I think, are at. I just don't see them doing very many wins. This is really tough. It's a tough schedule, and a lot of the tough games are even away. A lot of tough games are home. There's just no easy path for the Raiders to do even really well. 6 is where I kind of have the ceiling. 4 is where I have their floor. So 4 to 6 wins is perfect. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video for the Las Vegas Raiders. I really just don't know too much about this team in terms of me caring enough about this team. So take the energy as you will. But hope you guys did enjoy the video. I'll see y'all in the next one. See ya.